So what the heck is riboflavin and why do you need it? Hello and welcome to another edition of the Ask Dr. Pickel show. All right, so today we are going to talk about riboflavin, the forgotten vitamin. Riboflavin's like that odd name that what the heck? Yeah, it's in there. It's vitamin B2. What do I really need it? I hear about vitamin B12, B6, some of these others. I know those are important. What the heck do I really need riboflavin for? And should it be a part of my life? So let's dive right in with riboflavin. All right. So riboflavin, kind of interesting stuff here. It's been around since about 1879, and it is water soluble, which means really, which we'll find out in a minute, you can't really take too much of it because it'll just end up in your urine. And then it's also heat stable. So when you cook things that have riboflavin in them, it doesn't really break down at normal cooking temperatures, but it is light sensitive. So if you are buying foods in plastic packaging that the light can get through, could be destroying the riboflavin. And also just foods today are low in a lot of things anyway. So we're not really getting a lot. Now it is found a lot in more organ meats, eggs, fish, nuts, dairy, fruits, certain fruits, legumes, wild rice, mushrooms, dark leafy greens, and yeast. But it is poorly absorbed. So when you get it in with your food, you're not going to absorb it very well. So this, especially if you have a chronic health condition, an autoimmune issue, you may need a little more riboflavin than what you can get from your diet, or you could get a riboflavinosis. All right, so you do not want to get a riboflavinosis. This is when you're low in riboflavin, and this can cause colitis. Now, what is that? That's where your lips get kind of inflamed and swollen and red, especially like in the corners or around the tops. Sore tongue. Sometimes you may have that experience where it's like, gosh, why is the side of my tongue really sore? Yeah, this is usually a deficiency. Now, riboflavin can cause this, but sometimes even other B vitamin deficiencies can cause that. Scaly rash, and that rash will usually occur in men around the scrotum and when women around the vulva. And then hair loss can occur, skin inflammation can occur, cataracts. It's associated with cataracts, migraines. It's actually used in helping iron get into your cells properly and be utilized. So it can affect anemias, and also it can affect your energy levels because it's heavily involved in energy production at a mitochondrial level, at that level where you actually manufacture energy. So kind of important stuff here. All right. So what else does it do? Because it's really a pretty impressive supplement. So in fact, let's zoom back into that. So look up at the top there, reduces migraines. A lot of people are going to like it for that. Yeah, anything that can help with the migraine side, pretty good. Some people will combine riboflavin at a higher dose with some magnesium, and they really notice a relief of migraine, and that they don't last as long, or that they don't get them as often. So that's really neat. Decreases premenstrual syndrome. Hey, that's pretty important there. Boosts the immune system, and who doesn't need that? So that definitely can help. Anti-inflammatory. Now that's a big one for riboflavin. It actually ties into a lot of things that help to reduce certain types of inflammation. So pretty cool there. Antioxidant. So this would be more anti-aging, is preventing that oxidation effect. Anti-cancer. So there are some studies that actually suggest that this may be a factor here. Now, what's this? Reperfusion oxidative injury. So this would be if you had a stroke or if you got a contusion of your brain. Yeah, this helps with healing and repair. All right. And then decreasing the risk of cataracts. That's pretty cool. So definitely something you want to keep going to avoid that as one of the possibilities there. Reduces osteoporosis. So it's involved in bone metabolism, especially with building bone. And then this is an interesting one. It helps to control malarial infections. So if you got malaria, this prevents the malaria from making more of itself. Malaria is a parasite, so it prevents that parasite from making more of itself as quickly or as easily. All right. So some other interesting things here. So it's like I was saying, it's very important for energy production. So if you're low in energy, tired a lot, riboflavin could be a factor. Also helps in glutathione production, and glutathione, like the mother of all antioxidants, pretty darn important to make glutathione. It can potentially, in some studies, help with neuropathy, help with anemias, which we kind of talked about, even help with diabetes type 2. It's also, if you have been diagnosed with an MTHFR variant, meaning you can't activate folate or methylate folate very well, then this actually very important, because riboflavin's involved with folate usage. So very important in doing quite a few things with that. And then what's the dosage? How would you take this? Well, I'd say I'd like to see with my patients. Now, these are people who have these health issues, about 20 to 40 milligrams per day. Now, if you're pretty healthy, no big deal, and you're eating pretty good, you may need less than that. So, and I would say you're typically going to find it in a B complex vitamin. Of course, if you get that, you want decent quality. I usually like more of a whole foods type vitamin, meaning it's actually made from real foods rather than synthetics. And then really you can take as much of this stuff as you want potentially, but don't, because you just waste your money and it'll go in the toilet. But there is no known toxicity to riboflavin overdose. So riboflavin is pretty darn interesting stuff. I think it's a great one to know about, because you don't hear about it very often. If you do, it's just that weird word, riboflavin. All right. So hopefully this gave some people some great information for today. Have a wonderful day. God bless. And I'll see you next time.